Today, we're diving into a really fascinating vision for North Carolina. It's a development proposal that imagines a future where housing, farming, and job creation aren't separate things, but all part of one single powerful system. Okay, let's get into it. So, to really get this proposal, you first have to get North Carolina. I mean, its roots in agriculture are so deep. We're not just talking about an industry, it's the state's #1 economic driver. It's a huge part of its identity. So, that's our starting point.
And state leaders are already thinking this way. This quote from the NC Ag Leads plan, it's not just wishful thinking. It's a real call to action to take that amazing agricultural foundation and, innovate for the future.
But there's a pretty big problem standing in the way of that future, a challenge that threatens the very ground this whole agricultural heritage is built on. Here it is, 1.2 million. According to the American Farmland Trust, that's how many acres of farmland North Carolina is on track to lose by 2040. I mean, just let that sink in. It puts the state's growth and its entire legacy on a collision course. And this is where things get really tricky. As that precious farmland is disappearing, its price is actually going through the roof. That creates this incredible pressure, right? It forces what feels like an impossible choice: develop or preserve. But what if we're looking at this all wrong? What if that's a false choice? This is the question that could change everything. What if we could design ecosystems where growing one thing actually helps the others grow too? And this visual right here captures that idea perfectly. You move away from these separate, competing silos and into one interconnected system, a place where permanent housing, local food, and creating wealth all work together, making each other stronger. Okay, so how on earth do you actually build something like this? Well, the answer is in some really impressive, really innovative technology. Let's take a look at how this whole model is built from the ground up. Now, this is absolutely key. We're not just talking about some cool idea on a napkin. The heart of this entire system is backed by a U.S. patent. And that's not just a piece of paper. It guarantees that a unique, protected, and really resilient design is at the core of this whole thing. The design philosophy rests on a few brilliant pillars. You've got passive solar architecture, which is basically just harnessing free energy from the sun, a net zero energy goal, meaning it aims to produce as much energy as it uses, and then you have this really clever engineering, like natural ventilation and evaporative cooling, to create a self-regulating environment without a ton of machines. And let's talk about the rammed earth for a second, because it's pretty brilliant. This is an ancient building technique with a totally modern payoff. These walls have what's called thermal mass, which means they naturally stay cooler in the summer and warmer in the winter. That just slashes your energy costs. And what you're seeing here is that perfect blend of, let's call it human-centered agriculture, and some seriously sophisticated tech. It's the marriage of nature and really smart, patented engineering, like the evaporative cooler that's built right into the aquaponics system. And the architecture itself is just wow. It's both beautiful and incredibly smart. The homes and the greenhouse all share this amazing all-glass southern wall. And it's not just for looks. It's a key part of that passive solar design, soaking up all that winter sun. And get this, it's engineered to be hurricane resistant. Okay, so we've got the problem, and we've got the innovative tech to solve it. So what's the actual proposal on the table? What are we talking about for developers right here in North Carolina? So the pilot project itself is a model of efficiency. On just one single acre of land, you build 400-square-foot rammed earth tiny homes, and they're all connected to a central 1,000-square-foot greenhouse. Now, this greenhouse, it's not just a building. It's the living, breathing, productive heart of the whole community. It's compact, it's modular, and it's designed to be copied. And look, this isn't some vague concept. This is a real deal proposal, right down to the transparent line item budget. You can see for yourself exactly where every single dollar is going. So what's the all-in number to get this first-of-its-kind pilot project built? $1,920,000.
But that initial number, that's really only half the story. The absolute genius of this model is the long-term payoff. It's designed to create something called an economic flywheel. So what is an economic flywheel? Well, think of it like a system that fuels itself. Every single part feeds the next. The goal isn't just to build a house or grow some food. It's to create an economic engine that empowers the people living there and eventually runs on its own without needing constant outside support. And here's how that flywheel starts spinning. It all kicks off with stable, permanent housing. That stability gives residents the foundation to focus on high-yield food production right there in the greenhouse. The extra food they grow then creates real wealth, which gets put right back into the community, making the housing even more secure and the whole system stronger. It's a beautiful, powerful, self-reinforcing cycle.
And that right there brings us right back to where we started. This model lines up perfectly with the stated goals of North Carolina's own agricultural leaders to boost productivity, strengthen the economy, and build community. It is a direct answer to their call.
So when you're facing down disappearing farmland and skyrocketing costs, could a model that integrates housing, technology, and agriculture really be the answer? Is this what the future of development in North Carolina looks like?